Hi everyone, thank you for joining me once again. A question that people are keep on asking me is how do you approach challenges in your research and feels like you're researching amulets, symbols, mythologies. So let's talk a little bit about that and how we can handle those challenges. When I'm researching something like symbols, mythologies, art, folklore, one of the main challenges that I'm coming across is the fact that sometimes we lack a lot of documentation and knowledge. For example, I'm seeing an amulet from the 17th century with a certain symbol, and then I want to understand why is it there? What is it doing on this amulet? And sometimes I don't know who created this amulet or this talisman. Why this symbol was chosen? Did someone ask for this specific amulet with this specific symbol? Maybe it represents some kind of a cultural agreement that I don't know about back in the day. And when I'm dealing with lack of information, I need to start and see how I can compare it to other items from the surroundings or the relevant time in order to say something about this phenomena. So actually, I'm creating sources of information like a puzzle, so I can offer a way of thinking, a way of looking at something. And that's another thing. This is not an exact science. I can't put something under a microscope and say this is definitely it, although they they argue among themselves a lot. But what I can do is offer a certain way of thinking or reading a symbol, an item, a phenomena. I never almost say I'm sure that this is the way it was for sure. I cannot say that because I don't have all the documentation and all the knowledge. And that leads to another thing. When we're working in a field of research which is full of gaps and a lot of information is missing, sometimes what I need to do is something close to a speculation. I need to speculate. And this is something that doesn't go very well in the world of research. What I need to do is actually almost like seeing into the future and actually foreseeing the backlash, the people that will come and say you can't say that because you don't have this information, this is wrong, we don't know, I see something else in it, or my research I saw that. It goes on and on. So what I need to do is sometimes the only way to actually handle those two challenges is to acknowledge them. While I'm writing the research, I'm saying we are aware that there are gaps. We are aware that what we're doing is offering one way and that there are others. And if we're dealing with something that people are already sensitive about, such as developments and change within a culture or a religion, folklore, symbols, then we are saying we know that this is actually one way of seeing things and that there are other ways, but it is important for us to encounter, acknowledge, and deal with this specific phenomena because it creates new knowledge. It shed light on a phenomena that we were not aware of. It teaches us something new because there will always be people that will be against something. But if we don't allow a research to happen, if we don't conduct a research to something, even if it is challenging and problematic, then no new knowledge will be available. No new knowledge will be born almost. So other people and other researchers can actually start and discuss it, and we will learn new things. So we shouldn't be afraid of approaching something which is challenging within a certain research. What we do need to do is to be aware of the challenges and understand why it is important to research something, even if it gives me a really hard time. I was wondering if you have any challenges within your own researches, and if do, please do share it with us. Maybe we can think about them together and see how we can handle that. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time.